Hi everyone, Corey Tilbrook here with Tilbrook Tough, and I am a amateur strongwoman competitor getting ready to compete at a natural strongman event in 2 weeks. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I had a good training session today doing some deadlifts, so I thought we would look at those videos as well. Again, I am an amateur competitor. I've been competing in some local strongman events as well as some international and world events. I started competing August 10th, 2024, so I'm still fairly new to the competition world, but have had the opportunity to compete at some high-level events, which has been a great opportunity for me. I do compete in Masters Women 40 plus, but I do also compete in some open divisions, depending on the level of the competition and the weights. So in 2 weeks, I'm competing at the Cerberus Strength Natural USA Strongest. You can see it here on Iron Podium. If you're not familiar with Iron Podium and you're interested in doing strongman, it's a great place to start. You can search for all the different events that are going on that are amateur level events. Sometimes there are high level events here as well that are invites, but those are typically found on other sites. So this is a great place to go. Anybody can sign up for strongman. This is where the amateurs go to find those events. So check it out if you're interested in starting that yourself. It's a great site to check out. So that's ironpodium.com if you're interested in getting started. So let's take a look here at the Cerberus Strength Natural USA Strongest that's coming up. It's January 17th in Eatontown, New Jersey. So I will be competing in the women's Masters 40 plus division at this competition, heavyweight. They will have a lightweight division as well. And my goal at this comp is to qualify for Natural Worlds 2026, which will be in Scotland. So that's pretty exciting. I did compete at Natural Worlds last year, which was in Ireland. Check out some other videos on my Instagram to see how that went. So I'm excited to do that again, and I would love to go to Scotland, so that's pretty exciting. All right, so just taking a look, let's check out the events that we're going to have. So the first event is axle press trump bar. And what that means is axle clean and press. That can be a continental clean. Sometimes they do get picky about belt cleans. I don't typically have that problem because I am a heavyweight, so I have a nice little gut to prop the bar on. But basically, you're going to have to pull the bar to your stomach and then up to your chest, and then you go ahead and press from there. For these reps, we will have to drop it back to the floor and re-clean and press for every rep. And what it means by the trump bar is that we will have a lighter bar and a heavier bar for each division. That weight might be different. If you choose to go to the heavier bar, that trumps all reps done by other competitors on the lighter bar. So obviously that is ideal to hit. Even if you hit one rep on the heavy bar and somebody hit 10 reps on the lighter bar, the one rep on the heavier bar is going to allow you to beat out that other rep. So interesting event there. Love overhead presses. Definitely a static competitor. I will say that the weights are somewhat light at this event for the Masters division, so it is going to be more of an athletic competition. It's going to be who can move the fastest and who can get the reps in. So a little bit more difficult in that sense rather than weight, but having to make sure that we're moving efficiently. So deadlift medley. Love deadlift. It's one of my favorite events. That's what I trained for at the gym today, so we'll take a look at that video here in a bit. For this one, we're going to do a medley, which means there's going to be more than one deadlift bar. In this case, they will be different types of bars. And we will have to move through each of those bars in order, one at a time. Do the first rep. Once we get the down command, move to the second bar. Do the second rep. Once we get the down command, move to the third bar and do the third rep. The only difference is on the third bar, we will continue to rep it out as long as we can for the remaining time in the 60 seconds. So I do not believe they're going to take split times on this, so it is going to come down to who can do the most reps. The first bar is going to be an axle bar. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a little bit of a thicker bar, and the pull from the floor is definitely a lot different. It doesn't have a lot of give or bend. The power bar is like your standard overhead pressing bar or squatting bar. It's just a regular power bar. And then the deadlift bar is going to have a little bit more give to it, and it's also going to rotate. So typically people use straps or some sort of grip support for the rotating bar. We'll see how people do at this competition. You can also do like a mixed grip to hold onto the bar to keep it from rotating. Yeah, I can see here it says there are no split times, which means this is not about how fast you get it done. It's about how many reps you complete. So that'll be interesting. Sandbag to shoulder is the third event. I'm actually excited about this one. I'm not a big fan of sandbags, but I did have this at my last competition and I've been working on it. So it's going to be 3 different sandbag weights. we're going to have a lighter weight first that we have to shoulder. Once we've stabilized and shown the judge that we have one hand off the bag, we'll get a down command, move to the next bag, which will be a medium weight. Once we shoulder that, same thing, we'll drop, move to the third bag, which will be the heaviest weight. Once we shoulder the heaviest weight and get the down command, we'll continue to rep that bag as many times as we can within the 60 seconds. So again, it's another rep event. I see they're not going to take split time. So if you're part of the way through a rep or you get to the middle bag faster than somebody else, it doesn't matter if that person makes it to the third bag. So it's really going to come down to how efficiently and effectively you can get your reps in. The next event is the max distance sandbag carry. Definitely probably not the one I'm looking forward to. It's another sandbag event and it's a movement event, which are tough for me. But I have been working on this a lot, did pretty good at OSG for this. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to pick up a sandbag that, again, the weight may vary depending on your class. You cannot shoulder the bag. So you have to hold the bag either in your stomach area or however you can hold it off the ground, likely up to your chest would be ideal. And you're going to continue to carry it as long as you can. If you reach 70 feet, you're going to turn around and go back. But if you drop the bag at any point in time, you're done. So you do have to keep the bag in a certain position off of your shoulder and carry it as long as you can. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. If you really like sandbags and movement, which I don't. Yoke Walk. I do love yoke. I've been working on yoke a lot. This is a 70-foot yoke. That's the yoke you're going to carry on your back with weight. I do know that the competition weight for my division is somewhat light for the yoke at this competition, which means this is going to come down to speed and not to who can actually lift the weight. So that should be interesting. I'm going to have to move quickly. 70 feet. I don't know if we're going to do that as a split 70 feet. If we do, that means there's a transition involved, which can have some advantages or disadvantages. So we'll either go a straight 70 feet and you're just running the whole time, or if it's partial footage, you're going to actually have to stop and turn and go back the opposite direction. So we'll see how that looks when we get to the competition. And then the last event is a farmer's hold. This is a grip event. We're going to be holding 2 farmer handles, farmer carries, and it's going to be a certain amount of weight per hand, and it's just who can hold it the longest. If you drop the weight, obviously you're out. So it's just a grip event, who can hold it the longest. We'll look at the weights here in a second. So let's go down to the weights of this competition. I'm going to be competing in the Masters heavyweight division women here. So that's this line. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. So that axle clean and press trump bar, the lighter bar is going to be 115 pounds, and the heavier bar that trumps the light bar is going to be 145 pounds. That is the one that I'm going to go for at this competition. We'll see how many reps I can get in. The deadlift ladder, we talked about there's 3 different bars with 3 different weights. The first one, which is an axle bar, will be 275 pounds. The second one in the middle will be a 350 pound on the power bar. And then the deadlift bar is going to be 355 pounds. And again, once we get to that one, as soon as we get that first down command for lifting the 355, we need to continue to rep it as many times as we can. No split time, so it's going to be about who can get the most reps in. The sandbag to shoulder, again, starting at the lightweight and moving up to the heavyweight. The first weight is going to be 125 pounds. For this one, you're going to get the sandbag to your shoulder and you have to actually release one arm. Once the judge gives you the down command, you can move to the next one. So first one's 125, second one's 150. And then again, this is another athletic event. So when we get to the 175, as soon as we get that down command, we got to continue to rep that bag as many times as we can in the 60 seconds. Once again, no split times, which means it's really going to come down to who can rep the most efficiently. It does have to do with speed, but not if you don't make it to the final bag. So making it to the final bag is step 1, then keeping those reps going to get the most reps out of that event. Max distance sandbag carry for us is going to be 175 pounds. I don't know if we'll be doing any sandballs in this. I didn't see anything about sandballs. And a sandball is just a cylinder sandbag that Cerberus makes. It can change the way you lift and move with things. Hopefully we're not doing that on the carry event. I don't mind it so much if we're doing it on the shoulder event. But for the carry event, a cylinder bag would be a lot easier, and I believe that's what we're going to be using. The yoke carry, again, it's a lighter yoke, 360 pounds. For the Masters division heavyweight, That's a fairly light yoke, so this is really going to come down to speed. Who can move the fastest with the yoke? Sometimes taller competitors do have an advantage on this, but really it comes down to how your pick goes, if you get caught up, if there's any swinging to the yoke, and then also what your pick height is that you choose at the event, which is usually measured prior to doing the event. And then the farmer's hold is going to be 170 pounds per hand. So we'll be holding 170 pounds in each hand for as long as we can. Again, that's a grip event. So pretty excited about this. Again, trying to qualify for Worlds 2026, which is going to be in Scotland this year. I'm excited about it. I know there's some tough competitors that are going to be at this event. There is enough people in my division that the top 2 should be going as a qualifier. So if you get first or second place, you will qualify for Worlds in Ireland. So wish me luck on that. So let's take a look at how my deadlift went today. We'll take a look at that and see what we did. So very cold today. It's actually snowing here. So it took me a little bit of time to get going in the gym, to get warmed up. And let's see how I did. So we started with a 135 pound bar, just doing some warm up weights, kind of slow on the down motion. Just again, try to get warmed up, get the glutes, get the hamstrings warmed up, get the back warmed up. It's kind of cold here. So again, this was 135 pounds and we did some reps on that. This is a deadlift bar, which means it does rotate. So this is an example of one where it rotates in your hands. And you can see I do have some straps attached. I'm actually going to put them around the bar here in a second. I started with just overhand grip with no straps on the 225 pounds, which is what I'm doing now. And then you can see I'm strapping in with the figure 6s just to get a grip on the bar because it does rotate, just so that I can take that factor out of the lift. So 225, this is fairly light. Again, just warming up. I usually don't wear a hoodie to the gym, but that's how cold it was today. So just trying to stay warm while we do it. So we're at 315 pounds. I am using the figure 6s in this, so you can see that I'm lifting with the straps on again on my hands, just to keep the bar from rotating and take grip out of the equation. So now we're up to 335 pounds on this. So going back to the comp weight, we are past the first bar and past the second bar, and not quite to the heavy bar yet, but we're right in between those two. So this was a good weight to be moving at. And then now we're at comp weight on the heaviest bar. So this is the bar that we'll need to continue to rep at the very end of the ladder. And of course, I wasn't trying to do as many reps as I could today. I was just trying to get the movement in before I go to the competition. So yeah, pretty good day at the gym, doing some deadlifts. Excited about this competition. Excited to try to qualify for Natural Worlds 2026 in Scotland. Wish me luck. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm starting to pick up videos here on YouTube. I definitely have a lot of Instagram videos if you're interested in watching workouts or competition preps. And hope to see you guys next time. Thanks.